Okay, so this is an experiment to have a look at this particular equilibrium mixture. So this one's quite an interesting one because all the things have got very distinct colours and it's very easy for us to see what's going on. So this ICl is a liquid and it's brown. This chlorine is a gas, that's green, and the ICl3 is a solid and that's yellow. And we should be able to see all three present in the U-tube at one time, and that will help us to be convinced that an equilibrium mixture really is a mixture of the reactants and the products. Okay, we'll come back to that in a moment. In here I've got just a little pellet of iodine at the bottom, and I've got to make this whole equilibrium mixture. So I do that by adding some chlorine to it, so that's the first thing I'm going to do. I'm just going to introduce some chlorine into the U-tube. So I've made the mixture in here, the equilibrium mixture. Now you can see, because I've put the white wall behind, I hope you can see, that there's some green gas in the arms of the tube here. You can definitely see this ring of yellowy solid down at the bottom. And if I turn this, you might be able to see there's a little bit of brownish liquid in there as well. Okay, and in the bottom there, you can see that there's a little spot of brownish coloured liquid. Okay, now what I want to do is to investigate how adding reagents and taking reagents away will affect the balance in this equilibrium mixture. Okay, so at the moment, I'll bring it back, we know that we've got a mixture of this brown liquid, the green gas and the yellow solid. Now, if I were to pour out that chlorine gas, that green gas, so there's none of that there, then I won't be able to do the forwards reaction anymore because one of the fundamental reagents that's needed for it won't be present. So the forwards reaction will slow down, stop. And the backwards reaction will be the only one that can happen. So we'll observe the yellow solid getting less and less and less as it gets used up, and it will slowly replace the green gas that I poured out, and we should see more of this brown liquid forming. So I'm going to try that and check that it works. Take this out. Chlorine's quite a heavy gas, so if I take these bungs out and pour it at the back of the fume cupboard, it should pour the chlorine gas out. Right, so I'm trying not to breathe because it stinks and it's really bad for you. Right, so I've just poured all the chlorine gas out. You can see that there's not that same green coloration in the arms of the tube, and you can see my yellow ring of the ICl3 has gone. Now, if we watch it, we should see that the brown liquid in the bottom there is starting to develop. We're starting to get more and more of that brown liquid there, and we should also see that the green gas slowly starts to return in the arms of the tube. You can see a bit of greenish gas starting to form down here again. It'll take a while to work its way up the arms of the tube. Now if I want to try to make my yellow solid again, I'm going to need to put more chlorine in there. I've got quite a lot of this brown liquid, this ICl, I've got quite a bit of that in the bottom of the tube. I haven't got very much of this. So if I were to put more of that in, that would allow me to make more of this yellow solid. So I'm going to use my chlorine generator at the side and put some extra chlorine gas in there. Now last time it smelled really bad and I had to stop the filming while I turned the fume cupboard on. So we'll see how we go. This should introduce some chlorine into the mixture. It's starting to add a little bit of chlorine into that U-tube. this YouTube, I'm hoping that we should slowly make some more of the yellow solid. Give that a bit of a chance to mix up. I think you can see, look, it's starting to spatter around the edges there, on the sides. You can see little specks of the yellow. Perhaps if I come a bit closer to the camera. Okay, so yellow solid's definitely forming again. So to recap, to begin with, I had the mixture with all of these three things in it. Then I poured out the chlorine, poured out the green gas, so that was removed. And what we observed happening was the yellow solid started to disappear. And that's because the backwards reaction can happen because we've still got that yellow solid, but the forwards reaction wasn't able to happen because there wasn't any of this green gas for it to react with. So because the amount of that was decreasing and the amount of that was increasing, we say the equilibrium position has moved to the left-hand side because we're getting more of this and less of this. Okay? Then I put the stopper in, and we could see that even then, although we were expecting to see a little bit more of this green gas forming, there really wasn't very much of that. It was almost entirely this brown liquid. So we still really had this situation, a lot of this. There wasn't any of that around, and there wasn't very much of this around that we could see. So I decided to put some more chlorine into the mixture at that point. Now, when I added the chlorine to it, that meant we were in this position again. So we were able for the forwards reaction to happen and make some more of this yellow solid. So the amount of brown liquid decreased, the amount of yellow solid increased, and we also saw this green gas present in the arms of the tube. Now, to describe what was happening there, we said the equilibrium position moved over to the right-hand side, which means we're making more of this yellow solid, and we've got less of the things that are on this side, certainly less of that brown liquid. That was very clear to see. So if we've got more of this, we say the equilibrium position is on the left. If we've got more of this, we say the equilibrium position is on the right.